It would crush me. It would crush me.
I don't see them cutting him though.
I don't.
I do think other names.
I think Pineda is a good fighter. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
That is going to be a scrap right there.
Sure.
Like this card is a huge card.
Yeah.
Sure. It's not the Conor McGregor card that you're looking for. That's going to be happening in January. We all know that. Yeah. But when it comes down to it, it's an interesting card.
Sure.
And there's a lot of great fights on that card as well. So looking at UFC 256, there's a lot to look forward to. Obviously, Little Ben Askren's going to be on the card as well.
Yep.
Angela Hill. It's just like when I look at the placement of this card, it's really weird because some of these kids were huge, huge fighters, and now they're fighting the preliminaries or they're fighting before the pay-per-view. And then, of course, you have Lee, too.
I do love that.
That
Dwight Grant.
Yeah, that's going to be a good fight. And when you look at it, I mean, the last fight that he had was against Magny. He lost that decision. He got starched by Magny. Mean, Magny put some work on him, but Magny's so underrated.
Right.
People do not give Magny the respect he deserves.
Now, I know I might be going slightly off topic. It's only because we brought up Neil Magny. Mm-hmm. I don't know why the UFC just completely scrapped the Khamzat fight versus
right.
They should have slid in Neil Magny. Neil Magny's been begging for the fight.
And he's somebody that doesn't turn fights down.
And he's still in the top 10.
Yeah.
They gave him Leon Edwards, who's number 3.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that. I feel like... I don't know.
I just wanted to see
maybe
Leon fight again.
Well, yeah, and I think that he could have fought, and with the way that he's going, he starches Magny and then fights Leon a couple weeks later.
Right.
Or have Magny fight Leon a couple weeks later.
Sure.
I mean, there's so many opportunities.
Yeah, but they really want that Leon Edwards Khamzat. So we'll get that in January, hopefully.
Well, and the welterweight division, I mean, it's huge.
Another stacked division.
Yeah. All right, so we did mention this earlier. We mentioned Dana White saying that he's going to cut up to 60 fighters, and I want to spend some time on
there's like 600 fighters on the UFC roster.
There's 600 fighters on
guys, if sometimes we mess up a name or something, just realize there are 600 UFC fighters. 600 plus, actually.
And the thing is, so the post-fight press conference for UFC Vegas 16, Dana White gets on the mic. The man in the blue shirt, John Morgan, always gets the
first question.
He goes, "Hey, I saw that Yoel Romero was cut. Which, dude, I know he just lost. I get it. It sucks. It's hurtful. But like,
cut sounds like the wrong word. It seemed like it was mutual from what I read.
Released, or parted ways. Yeah. And you can check out the full interview or full article at woodwardsports.com. Obviously, Yoel was on, a four fight losing streak.
Sure.
He had that.
All decisions though. He never gets. You can't finish Yoel.
No, and that's the thing. I mean, so Yoel gets cut. It happens.
Actually, 3 fight, but still.
Yeah. It is. So Yoel gets cut. And he gets cut Saturday before the fights, and it really was like breaking news. It was like, holy shit! Like it came out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. Now. He's 43 years old.
Yeah.
To me, he just fought Costa, Whitaker, Adesanya. I mean, that's 1, 2, 3.
Literally the top 3 ranked.
Yeah. And he fought Whitaker twice. In my opinion, I think he won the Whitaker fight. The
second one.
You think the second one? See, that's what's crazy about it.
I was there.
See, but that's what's crazy about it.
How about I thought he won the Paulo Costa fight.
I did too.
Yeah.
I did too. But when you look at him at 43 years old, he should not be in the conversation of the 60 fighters that Dana White and crew are deciding to cut. It pissed me off because it's like, to me, he's one of the most active, entertaining. Sure, the Izzy fight was trash. Just like, it reminded me so much of like the Stephen Wonderboy Thompson and Woodley fight.
I remember.
It was like, you see these two superstars and you're like, holy shit,
and they don't do
anything.
anything.
Wait, what?
They don't.
It's not happening. This sucks. So it was devastating to see him get cut. But John Morgan brought that up. Dana White goes, yeah, actually, we're cutting up to 60 fighters by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Which is, it's crazy to me, but it makes sense when you think of one thing. Dana White Contender Series.
Yeah.
You're bringing on 4 new fighters every week.
Yeah.
You've got it. When you're bringing in new, it overflows with the old, and you have to get rid of the old.
You have to.
And
these new fighters, like these new young fighters
they
got chips on their shoulders.
I thought the Ultimate Fighter brought out some some fighters that you don't even want to look them in the eye.
Yeah.
The Contender Series, man.
That's
like
low key one of my favorite shows.
It is the best thing that's
I love
happened
that
because
show.
it's just like you see these fighters that are doing the regionals, doing the locals, and then they come on and they've got one fight.
Yeah.
One fight to make it happen. What I love about it is Dana.
That's your interview.
Right. That's your interview. You're doing an in-person interview, and hey, instead of a questionnaire, we're gonna give you some job experience. Get in that fucking cage and fight.
Yeah.
Like it's the best, man.
And they go for the finish.
Oh my gosh! If someone was to be like, "Hey, would you rather go to a fight night or a Dana White Contender Series?" I'd have to sit and think about it.
You know, fans were allowed into that until before COVID.
I
so
know.
I might make a trip for that, man.
I would love to make a trip for that because to me, you are seeing the definition of hunger.
Yeah.
You're seeing, in my opinion,
raw talent.
It's college tryouts for the pros.
Yeah.
So when you've got 4 fighters and we're on season 4 now, we're on season 4. They do 4 weeks.
Yep.
That's 4 fighters. That's 16 fighters in a 1-month span. I mean, there's never been a Contender Series where there's been less than 4 contracts being handed out.
Always.
So it's going to overflow. Here's my question. If they would have said, pick a number of fighters that you think are going to be next to be cut, I hate to say it, but I would have put Romero in there. I would have. Just because it's like 43 years old. How much more does he have left in the tank? And really, when you think about it, he's 13-5. He doesn't have a whole lot of fights in the UFC. I mean, he started in 2009. He's only been fighting for 11 years.
Yeah.
Who do you think is next on the chopping block? Give me a couple.
I hate to say it, but Rachel Ostovich. I only say that because her record is not good.
Yeah.
As attractive as she is, she's very marketable. She has a huge Instagram following.
Yeah.
I just think I could see her. I could maybe see I don't know, a Mike Perry even.
Really?
I mean, he's exciting to watch.
Yeah,
I mean, with his trouble outside the cage.
Yeah, they don't want to take that.
They don't like that.
They don't want to take that.
Plus losing, I want to say. I mean, we could look up Mike Perry, but I think last 3 or 4.
Yeah, he's 0-3 in his past 3 fights.
Yeah, so
he's one of them. Diego Sanchez, definitely, he's gone.
But at this point,
Bellator's gonna be rich, bro. Bellator's gonna be loaded.
Diego Sanchez was on UFC 1.
Yeah,
the
Ultimate Fighter
1.
Yeah. It's crazy to think. I mean, the amount of CTE that man has endured, I feel bad for him.
Me too.
Still to this day, he's entertaining.
Sure.
Still to this day, he's a fighter that I will always watch.
Yep.
Him versus Clay Guida. I mean, that was.
But it's in the UFC Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Yeah. I mean, it's
Fighter's Wing. Or
yeah,
whatever.
the Fighter's Wing. Yep.
Yeah.
He's cut. I want to say Cowboy, but I don't think they'll cut Cowboy.
I don't think so.
No.
He's a big name, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I doubt it because he just mentioned on his Instagram, "See you guys soon."
Yeah.
So he's fighting someone. I think they run that Nico Price fight back.
I would hope
it was
so.
a draw.
I would hope so. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else it could be.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, and plus with the weed violation from Nico Price, which is so
you know what?
stupid.
I know.
Yeah, that's
they need
so
to just
stupid.
drop that already.
Yeah, they need
just
weed,
chill out.
The NBA did that recently. It's
Yeah.
where, hey, listen, you can smoke as much as you want. We don't give a fuck. And that's what it should be. Now with UFC, I feel that the day of the fight, you shouldn't smoke.
Right.
You know, the Nick Diaz effect where you smoke. Dude, I've gotten
I'm
high.
cool with even the week of. Just leave it alone.
I've gotten high and gotten punched in the face, and I would much rather be high getting punched in the face than not high. Being honest.
Right.
So you've got Cowboy you think's a keep. Diego Sanchez, he's definitely gone.
I think he's gone.
Mark Hunt, he is no longer with?
Yeah, he's not in the UFC.
He's not, because of that whole legal battle.
Yeah, he's trying to sue the UFC.
Yeah,
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying
Nobody
to
wins
think
that.
of fighters. You know who I will say? Sam Alvey.
You think he's gone?
Yeah.
And I like Smiling Sam, man.
Yeah,
He's a
I
cool
think
guy.
he's gone.
But he's another one. He's got a lot of losses.
Yeah, a lot of losses. He doesn't really bring a whole lot to the table in terms of entertainment value.
I got one for you.
Who?
Gian Vellante, bro.
Yeah, Vellant's gone.
Vellante gotta go.
They're saying, get the fuck out. We don't care that you're Weidman's step cousin, sister's cousin. Fucking they don't care. No, it's
Vellante.
Vellant's gone.
I think he's gone.
I would. I don't want to say why. Luke Rockhold.
Maybe.
But he's too big of a name.
He's a big
if
name.
they cut Rockhold, he'll get picked up by Bellator and he'll make 10 times the amount that he's making.
Right.
So and I think Luke Rockhold, he's taking a break to do his modeling shit. Yeah. I know that he is active. I know someone who trains with him, so he is active.
Yeah,
he's sparring.
He's at Ruka.
But he got beat by Romero and Blachowicz. Again, he's one of those fighters
No shame in those 2 losses.
No, not at all. David Branch, his name comes up now that I think about it. I think
he's actually suspended right now. He's on suspension.
Well, and he is no longer in the UFC.
Oh, he's not.
He's in some Russian organization.
Okay. Yeah,
but he lost.
Yeah, he got suspended for something.
Really?
I don't think it was PEDs though.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm not remembering what it was.
Yeah, I think that when it comes to the fighters that are staying active and that are gonna stick around, obviously it's a big list. It's hard to pinpoint because we've been so surprised.
Yeah.
There's been fighters that have gotten cut and you're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Cub Swanson. I mean, now that you brought it up, you put this in my head, okay? These 2 cards are very important because
I think that's what they're waiting for.
They've already got a list of people, right? And then it's fourth quarter losses. I mean, the UFC isn't making...
Like JDS. I bet he's on that list. Like, hey, if he loses...
Do you think Jose Aldo's on the list?
I hope not. I like Jose Aldo.
See, I'm going to tell you, that Marlon Chito Vera fight...
If he loses, they could.
I think that he's...
Yeah.
I
know the UFC does like him, though. But, again...
Yeah,
they got to trim the fat, man. 600-plus fighters.
Could you imagine beating a legend like that, and then you're the reason why they get cut? Do you think you feel bad a little bit?
I would.
I would feel bad.
It's Jose Aldo, because I do like Jose Aldo.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to run through some stories and then wrap up the show. Some things that have been happening in the past week or two. 41 minutes.
Okay.
So we got to hit the 59 mark, and then in order to get it to Instagram.
Yeah, we want to be able to post it to Instagram.
59 exactly. So we're going to try and do that. But some big stories happen. Of course, Romero no longer under contract. Nick Diaz... He is supposed to be making a comeback, says his manager. His manager says 99.99999% likely he makes a comeback in 2021.
You want to hear something funny?
Yeah.
Luke Thomas. I know you don't really follow him much.
I can't stand Luke.
I like Luke
and
Thomas.
I don't know why, but he reminds me of Dan Hardy.
Does he?
Yeah, like too much knowledge. Like, listen, we know stuff, but I would never act smarter than the person that's watching the video.
Right.
I just feel like it's like, cool, Luke's going to tell us another stat again.
Well, anyways, I will say this. He mentioned that Nick Diaz has 2 managers, and one of them is a complete bullshit artist, and another one is legit. So he said that could have been the bullshit artist manager.
If this is all...
I don't know if that's true. Does he have 2 managers? I don't know anybody with 2 managers.
I feel like I can't go through an entire show without mentioning that Nick Diaz follows me on Instagram.
I mean,
because it just makes
you should mention that every show.
I sent him the article that I wrote for him.
In fact, you should start the show like that. Do you guys realize that Nick Diaz follows me on Instagram?
So I sent him the article. He saw it, and he didn't reply.
Course.
And I wanted, imagine if I would have gotten...
Probably his bullshit manager.
Yo, it probably is the whole time. It's not even Nick Diaz. It's just his manager. It would not surprise me at all now that I think about it. Like, the most embarrassing thing that I think could ever happen is if I was to see Nick Diaz one day and be like, bro, we follow each other. And he goes, who the fuck are you? Because his manager's
I'm like, bro, we talked on Instagram. He's like, I never did that.
That would be...
And then he'll call the manager on the spot.
Oh, it'd be so bad. I would delete my Instagram. I would just delete it forever.
Never again.
So he says that he's 99.9% likely to come back. Who do you see him fighting in the welterweight division?
Nick Diaz?
Mm-hmm.
He's not coming back to not have a big fight.
Yeah.
He's not fighting some
right
top 20 guy or whatever. Like,
it'll
be... as an example, like a GSP or
somebody
in the top 5.
I would love to see Diaz versus GSP.
Yeah.
I think that's the fight that needs to happen. Forget the whole Habib thing. Habib is not going to be able to come up in weight while GSP comes down in weight. It's so stupid.
No.
Why not? If GSP really wants to fight, the level of trash talk that was happening during GSP Diaz 1 was fucking great. I loved it. So why not set that fight up again? I think that would be a good fight.
That's what I'm guessing. So.
Yeah. Oliveira says the winner of Ferguson fight is the title contender.
I'm not mad at that.
Not mad at that at all.
I think he's right. And guess what? That's 2 fresh names for a title fight.
Yep. So that... I think that whoever wins that fight should definitely 100% fight the winner of Poirier and Conor.
Yes.